Thank you for watching New Day here on CNN Philippines. I'm Ria Tanwat Cotrillo. Creating a safe space for women is important in achieving a gender-equal society. And this Women's Month, we speak to a legislator who's been pushing for women's rights and protection one law at a time. So we're very happy to welcome our guest today, House Committee on Women and Gender Equality Chair, Congresswoman Maria Lourdes Acosta Alba. Good morning, Congresswoman. So glad you could join us.
Good morning, Ria. Thank you for having me. Thank you for this opportunity.
Now, ma'am, you recently took part in a webinar by the Philippine Legislators Committee on Population and Development about addressing policy gaps in women's and girls' rights. Could you tell us more about that?
Okay. Yesterday we had a forum on about addressing women and girls' rights, addressing policy gaps on this, and our major concern right now is the social problem of teenage pregnancy and child marriage. No, and since POPCOM has declared teenage pregnancy, adolescent pregnancy, as a national emergency, and this has been a disturbing phenomenon for several years now. We are trying to address this in the House of Representatives. There are pending legislative proposals to address adolescent pregnancy and ending child marriage.
Congresswoman, when you say it's a national emergency, what kind of figures are we looking at here?
The statistics, Ria, are quite alarming. Like 17% of Filipino girls are married before their 18th birthday, and 2% are married before the age of 15. And we have the highest absolute number of women married or in a union before the 18, in the world, so 808,000. So even in Region 10, where I am from, we have I think the second highest number of adolescent births last year.
Yeah, that is pretty alarming. Congressman, what do you think is the biggest challenge to women in our society today when you take into account the pandemic as well? And what is your committee doing to help address this?
Actually, it is quite difficult. It's difficult to say what is the single most challenge facing women today. Since women continue to face a lot of challenges, discrimination, violence, and sexual abuse, especially during this pandemic. There has been an increase in gender-based violence, in domestic violence cases, and in our homes, especially the discrimination and the discrimination continues, be it in our homes, in our workplace, or in public. So it's quite still serious, this gender equality and achieving gender parity is still quite a challenge for us, since we also dropped globally, in terms of closing the gender gaps. So the Philippines, although we are top in Asia, #1 still in closing the gender gap, but we dropped globally also. I think 8 notches lower.
Right, that leads me to my next question, because the Philippines, in spite of all of this, as you said, we rank very well and we are somehow making progress as a nation in terms of equality. What do you think it is in the Philippines that drives this, and more importantly, how can we sustain it?
Okay, we still have a lot of work to do. As I said earlier, there is still a lot of discrimination and exploitation going on, violence against women. I think we should enact more measures, legislative measures, to address this and to really make the Magna Carta of women properly and fully implemented. And we should strengthen, reinforce partnerships with national government agencies in continuing to provide health, economic, and social services for our women. And let us all continue to work on breaking down gender-based violence and stereotypes and biases as well against women.
Yes, you are right. There is
Girls.
a lot of work to do. So, but finally, Congresswoman, it is International Women's Month, as we all know, and as we've been celebrating here on CNN Philippines. Ma'am, what is your advice to the Filipina of today?
Okay. We should continue to value ourselves and know our worth as women. We are naturally strong and resilient, no? And as women leaders, no, we are really very good. Let us bring out our natural traits as women, as being nurturing and really caring and being adaptable. That's why during this pandemic, countries that are being led by women have really managed their COVID response, no, very well. I think there's really something about women's leadership that we have to really bring out and sustain. And let us continue to amplify our voices, project our strength, and show our compassion and conviction, no, of really trying to provide more access and equal opportunities for our women.
Right, I agree with that 1,000%. Thank you so much, Congresswoman Maria Lourdes Acosta Alba, for joining us here this morning on New Day.